Hi everybody, here's a plank target for you, and we're also going to incorporate some upper and lower body. Okay, make sure you give yourself breaks whenever you need them. Form is far more important than continuing to push through when you start to maybe feel like you're arching your back or dropping your chest or things just don't feel secure and stable anymore. So child's pose, other resting positions are awesome. Take them as often as you need. We're going to make the assumption that we've warmed up here. So if you need to, take a little walk around your block a couple of times, jog in place, do some jumping jacks, chase your kiddo around the room a little bit, whatever you want to do. All right. Make sure if you need a refresher on some of the ways to modify a plank to make it more comfortable on your wrists, that you refer to that video that was posted earlier in terms of ways that you can change your plank slightly to make your wrists a little happier, okay? So we are going to start actually without the wrists, which is nice, on our forearms. So you're going to take your elbows down right underneath your shoulders. You're going to go ahead and establish your neutral spine right now, even though it's on an angle. We want to make sure we're not in cat, we're not in cow, but we're nice and neutral. And then we're going to walk each knee back, pulling the heels toward the hips, bringing the spine parallel to the floor. And we're going to start our breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Engaging the whole core as we breathe. And then I'm just going to have you add on optionally to this. You're going to take your chest, lower it down about an inch. You'll feel your shoulder blades draw toward the spine. And then come right back up to where you started, pressing your shoulder blades apart. Inhale, lower down. It's small. Exhale, press up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, press up. Notice that nothing else in the shape of my spine is changing at all. I'm not letting my pelvis move. We're going to do just 2 more of these. We're going to get plenty of upper body. This is very much a cumulative program session. We're going to curl the toes under. Option just to hold in knee plank if you're still building strength. And we're going to jog the knees. One bends and then the other bends. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Here's the thing we want to watch for. We're not turning our hips side to side. The hips are staying completely still as we go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last set, and child's pose. Rest. Feel free to reach the arms out in front of you. Feel free to wrap them around your body and just give yourself a break. So because we're looking for cumulative effect, we're not going to do any one exercise for a tremendous amount of reps. It's all about good form and making the most out of the few reps that you actually do. Not a literal few, but not a ton either. So for this one, we're going to come up onto our hands. So if you need hand weights or you need a towel underneath the heel of the hand, whatever you need, go ahead and take a moment to grab it. Set yourself up. So wrists are right underneath the shoulders. We're going to go ahead and start on the knees. So walk those knees back, pull the heels toward the hips, shift forward so the shoulders come back underneath the wrists again, establishing that neutral spine and beginning to breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth, engaging the whole core. So again, if you're working on building strength, stay here through the next sequence. We're going to curl the toes under, come up into that full plank, and we're going to do a slow mountain climber. So right knee pulls in on an exhale, inhale, back. Left knee, exhale in, inhale, back. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, Inhale, one more time on each side. And bring it in. And take it back. Quick little break for this one. So we're just going to do the same mountain climber, but we're going to twist across the body. So again, if you want to set yourself up on the knees, feel free. I'm going to assume that you're more comfortable setting yourself up in plank. So we're going to go straight back, if you like, to the balls of the feet. For this one, we make sure we're in that neutral spine. So this time, your right knee is going to come across to your left elbow, and then back to center. Other side. Left knee, right elbow. So we exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. It's only my lower half that is twisting. So I'm keeping my chest completely square to the floor. Just one more set. And knees down, child's pose, or any other rest that you know that you enjoy. Breathe. So we're getting a lot of upper body in this sequence. So if ever you need to come up and stretch out your shoulders or your chest, please, by all means, do that. We're going to go into a side plank. I'm going to come onto my left side. So I'm going to go to my forearm. So my elbow is right underneath, or just a hair on the outside of my shoulder. But remember, we never want to be tucked in under here. So the thing I like about this particular sequence is that I can start here and stay here. So plank is just about lifting the hips, right? But before we do that, we've got to make sure we're pushing the shoulder away from the ear, pushing the forearm into the earth, so we're already engaged through our core. And then all we're going to do is lift our hips up, and automatically we should feel this underside of the core become engaged. And we hold here and we breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. So this particular sequence is just a nice little hold, and then we'll add on to it. So this would be position number 1. Position number 2, we extend the top leg. Maybe we lift a little higher. Position number 3, the top foot comes in front and the bottom leg extends out. And then position number 4, both legs extend, top foot in front of the bottom foot. And we've hopefully been breathing the whole time. We've either been holding or playing with positions. So let's come down, give that shoulder a quick little release and a break, and then let's add to that. So this time I'm going to have you pick the position that you like best. Because my upper body is a little bit tired today, I'm going to go for option 3. So I'm going to take my top foot in front. Once I've set all this up, extend my bottom leg and lift here. The beauty is, whichever position you've chosen, we can do the same thing. We just lower our hips down a few inches, up a few inches, down a few inches, up a few inches. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, constantly pushing the shoulder down, away from the ear. Last 2. Last 1, hold it up there, breathe, and come on down. And we'll switch sides. So just because we did it on the other side and it served as part of our working sequence, let's do it on this side as well. Let's set up those different position options. So forearm down, elbow underneath or just outside the shoulder, starting with the knees bent. First thing we do, press the shoulder away from the ear, press the forearm into the floor, and engage the center. And then we lift that free arm up toward the ceiling, and we lift the hips. Core's already working. We're in a good place. We breathe, right? In through the nose, out through the mouth. Option 2, position 2, just extend your top leg. So now we're not resting on both legs, not that this is a resting position. Option 3, top foot comes in front, flat on the floor. Bottom leg extends. You'll notice this allows me to lift my hips up a little higher than I could before. And then option 4, both legs extend, top foot comes in front of bottom foot, and we breathe here. So whichever position you've chosen, hold, keep breathing, keep pressing that shoulder away from the ear, and then come on down. Let's give that shoulder just a quick little release, and then we'll come down for that next exercise with the hips. So pick the position that is best for you. I think it's important to pick the same position on both sides so that you're not creating imbalance by getting stronger on one side than you are on the other. Okay, so for me, same position I picked last time. We set up our good form, and then we lower the hips down a few inches, press up a few inches, down a few inches, press up a few inches. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And you'll notice as I lower, I'm not letting my shoulder creep up toward my ear. I'm continuing to press it away. Let's do 2 more after that one. 2, 1, hold, breathe, and relax. Good. So I'm going to do just a couple of shoulder rolls in each direction just to release accumulated tension, which is not, the tension isn't necessarily bad. We're working all of these muscles. And then maybe just turn my head a few times because tension in the neck is something we want to try to avoid, right? So we're going to set up a reverse plank. So we're going to start with the knees bent and the feet flat on the floor. Remember, it's really helpful, puts you back in grade school, but think about making L's with your hands, thumb and index. Use those L's. Put them out in front of you. Your joints are now properly aligned. So all you have to do is sweep your arms straight back without turning them. Thumbs should point toward the edge of your mat, the bottom edge, and then your forefingers are angled out slightly. So we should be able to open the chest and roll the shoulders back and down. We definitely don't want to be here. And then we walk the feet in just a little bit more so that we can feel them pressing into the ground. Chest is open, spine is long. So you're already in the proper position. You're in that neutral spine. All you're going to do is press your hips up toward the ceiling. So ideally, my heels are right underneath my knees. My wrists are right underneath my shoulders. I'm pressing up against gravity as I breathe into my core. And your head can either go in line with the spine, but if that puts too much strain on your neck, it's okay to take a little chin nod forward and keep breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth for 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Maybe roll out your wrists a little bit. So that particular variation obviously can't be done on the forearms. It's just too hard on your shoulders and your chest, and because your knees are so much higher, you just don't get the right position. However, the next variation can be done on your forearms. It's really going to open up your shoulders, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. So we make our L's again. We sweep those L's straight back. So our thumbs are pointing toward our hips. Our forefingers are angled out slightly. Your legs are going to go straight out in front of you, and you're going to turn to the outer edges of your legs. So you don't want to be here on your heel, because when you push up into plank, that puts a lot of strain on your knees. Instead, you want to be like you would if you were relaxing. Nobody sits like this. If we relax, our legs flop open. That's where we want to be. It's called your Pilates V. So you're already pressing your chest open. You're already lengthening your spine. And all you have to do, just like the last one, because we're already in position, is press the hips up. And my shoulders ideally should be right over my wrists. So if I need to make a change, I do. And then again, we're just working against gravity, pressing the hips up, breathing into the core. Head is either in line with the spine or we have a nod forward. Stay here as long as that's comfortable for you, and I will show you that this one you can do on your forearms. Again, you have to have some shoulder flexibility and be able to open up your chest in order to make it work. We're holding 4 and breathing. 3, 2, 1, relax. And again, you might just want to roll your shoulders a couple of times. So we're going to go back to our original plank position, the standard plank, and we're going to do one more exercise there. You can do this on your forearms or on your hands, any variation of that position that you choose. I'm going to choose my hands just because that's what my preference is telling me at the moment. So either wrists or elbows underneath the shoulder, setting ourselves up in that neutral spine. We're going to come back onto our knees first. So this is where you can see the importance of pulling your heels up so that you're forward of your kneecaps, because now that we're in that neutral spine and we're breathing into our core muscles, we're just going to alternate a little leg lift up toward the ceiling. So I'm going to lift my left leg just until I feel my seat squeeze, not to the point that I arch my back. My back stays in neutral. And then I'm going to lower right back down forward of my kneecap. So we inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Option, curl the toes under, full plank, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 2 more sets, keeping that spine in neutral, not allowing the low back to arch, which means pulling the low belly in. Last one, and child's pose. Rest. Maybe you want to wrap your arms around your body, let your shoulder blades fall apart, and just breathe. And then we're coming up, and we're going to go to our side plank and incorporate some lower leg. So coming onto the left side, this can be done on your hand or your forearm. I'm just going to pick forearm again because that's my preference, and I find that I can align myself a little bit better in side plank on my forearm. So elbow in proper position, shoulder pressing away from the ear, already lifted and engaged through the core. We're going to start here. That's the beauty of this again, is that we can do this in multiple positions and get stronger. So lift your hips up, make sure you're engaged and you're breathing, and then you're just going to take the top leg and extend it. It's just a couple inches up off the floor. We're going to bring the top arm overhead, and then we're going to exhale, pull in, inhale, elongate. Exhale, pull in, inhale, elongate. You could even do this with that bottom hip still on the floor if you're focusing on gaining that upper body strength. Now, for the last 4, so this is a place where you can give yourself a break if you want to while I set this up. You can go both legs extended, hips lifted, and exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale, 2 more, exhale, inhale, 1 more, exhale, inhale, and lower down. And let's switch sides. So release that shoulder a little bit, and then we'll switch. Coming on to that right forearm, pressing the shoulder down, engaging through the center. We start with both legs bent. Free arm reaches up toward the ceiling. If you want to bring the hips up, great. If not, totally okay. So top arm comes overhead, top leg extends, and we exhale in. Inhale, reach. Exhale in. Inhale, reach. Feeling the side body engage as we pull the limbs in. And just because we're holding plank, so we'll do 2 more here. Remember that bottom hip can always stay on the ground. And then for the last 4, if you want to, so this is where you can take a quick break, we extend both legs and exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. 2 more. I'm losing my balance. So a reminder to breathe and relax. Release that shoulder. So last exercise, going back to that reverse plank. It's going to feel a lot like our mountain climber. So we'll do it with the knees bent first, and then we can do it with the legs extended. So feet are flat on the floor, knees are bent. Make your L's, sweep them back. Open up your chest, elongate your spine. Walk the feet in just a little bit so they push into the floor. And find your plank, or some people call this a tabletop position. So here's option 1. We just exhale, lift a foot to tabletop, inhale to the floor. Exhale, inhale. And you may feel your hips drop a little bit as the knee comes in, but don't do this. Don't let your hips drop. Keep pressing them up against gravity. Let's do 1 more set. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Come on down. Give your shoulders that quick release. So you could repeat the same thing. You can see my heart rate is up doing this. So this becomes cardiovascular, which means it's also fat burning, and yet we're not running around, we're not jumping, we're not crazy. Not that I love that stuff too, so I don't mean crazy in a bad way at all. So legs extend out in front of us. We let our legs open, right? So we find that Pilates V. We make our L's, sweep back, open up the chest, extend the spine so that we're sitting beautifully long, and then we press ourselves up, and then it's the same thing, only now we're externally rotated. So the knee goes toward the shoulder and release, toward the shoulder and release. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Remember, option just to hold your plank and build your strength. That's a beautiful option. We're just gonna do 1 more on each side. I'm starting to fail a little bit, and I don't want to push it and lose my form. And down we come. Good. So, great core workout, great upper body workout, and a little bit of lower body incorporated in, right? So let's just make sure we stretch really quickly. Find a comfortable cross-legged position. Bring one arm across the chest, hand to the forearm, and then just take your stretching shoulder and move it back and down. Go ahead and close your eyes. Sit up tall and breathe. Switch sides. Make sure that stretching shoulder comes back and down away from the ear. Release the hands, flip the palms to face outward. Sweep the arms back, open up the chest. Maybe you place your hands on the floor, soften the elbows and press open here. We're going to do a little seated cat-cow, so you're just going to place your hands at the top of the shin. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. 2 more times. One more.
nice and tall.
Take the left arm overhead. Walk yourself out to the right. Breathe here. Come all the way up. Right arm overhead. Walk it out to the left. Breathe, stretch. Awesome. Come on up. And we are done. I hope you had fun.